know that the Browns might be moving back. They've been fielding calls to move out of that pick. Fox analyst Joel Klatt, he thinks the Browns, they take Travis Hunter with the number 2 overall pick. Shady, I think the Browns have to do one of two things in the first round at number 2. You either got to take a quarterback or you got to trade out of the pick. I think those are the only two things that you can do. I love Abdul Carter as a pass rusher. I love him as a pass rusher. But you know who I love more? Myles Garrett, a generational talent, a Hall of Fame talent. And even Myles Garrett as an edge rusher can't do enough to get the Browns over the hump. I love Travis Hunter as a defensive back. Love him as a defensive back. But you know who I loved just as much coming out of college? Denzel Ward. And even Denzel Ward, as good as he's been in the National Football League, cannot get the Browns over the hump. I love Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. I love him as a wide receiver. You know who I equally loved as a wide receiver coming out of college? Jerry Jeudy, who had an all-pro caliber season last year for the Browns. And even Jerry Jeudy, who turned on late for the Browns with Jameis Winston at quarterback, could not get the Browns over the hump. And mind you, the Browns had Myles Garrett, Jerry Jeudy, and Denzel Ward all at the same time, and they couldn't get over the hump. So what that tells me is this. All y'all other positions are amazing. I played another position outside of quarterback. But if you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got nothing.
That's true.
The Browns have to find a way to take a quarterback in the first round. Either take one at number 2 if you deem one is worthy, or trade out of that number 2 overall pick, acquire 2 first-round picks, draft a quarterback later in the first round, then use that first-round pick from next year to make noise next year, or to move back up into this year's draft and make noise. But Shady, I think the Browns have to take a QB in the first round.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's why it's Shedeur Sanders. He's right there. He ready. What's the problem? What's the issue? What the problem is?
What the problem is?
So I would take Shedeur, but if he's not there, and
He's going to be there.
He's definitely going to be there.
Yes,
He's going to have to be there. Cam Moore's going one.
I'll stick that in there, right? If they don't decide to take Shedeur, you got to take Travis Hunter. And the reason why is because I don't like to reach for things, right? I like to reach for players. And if you don't get a quarterback, I think he's in the first round. If you don't think Shedeur is, cool. But moving back when you got one of the best players we've ever seen in football, you can't miss out on that. Even if he's not what we think he is, we think he's that. You get what I'm saying? We had a segment yesterday about Cooper Flagg, right? And we all think he's a phenomenal player. But nobody's like guaranteed, we got to get him because he's going to be a bona fide superstar, all-NBA. We don't. Travis, we think that. Not only do we think that, we think he's going to be on both sides. You can't pass up on something like that. We've never seen a player like him. I had a chance to talk to Charles Woodson about this, right? I really respect, a lot of people's opinions, but when you're a Hall of Famer, you different type of talent, like a Dion, like a Charles Woodson, I listen to you even more. And I said, how do you feel about him? Like, because you played some offense. Dion played some offense. He said, but not like that. The brother's the most conditioned player on the field. Since he's been 5 years old, he's been the best player on the field, no matter who he's playing against. Why would it change in the pros? Mm-hmm. Why would it change? And another thing, most players that be that good, and I can contest for stuff like that, because I wasn't as good as him, but I was really, really good. After I have a great game, Chase, I'm popping bottles in the club. Mm-hmm. After I get my first touchdown, I get that big check.
What you doing, 2-5?
I'm putting a big chain on.
What you doing, 2-5?
I'm putting 60 in both ears.
What you doing after a 200-yard game?
He's not doing that, though. You know what he's doing? I'm recovering. Yep. I'm going to lay home with my woman. I'm going to play video games, and I'm going back to train and work out. Dudes like that, over the years, I've seen them. You know what happens to them? They last longer. They play longer. They're more successful. And now you're talking about the number 2 pick that's the most talented. So now I got the most talented player and the player that works the hardest. Mm-hmm. And y'all tell me it's not going to work out? Browns fans, please, don't let your GM mess this up. You finally got something special and great that we haven't seen before. Myles Garrett was a great pickup.
Generational.
We've seen great guys like that. You need some generational talent. Travis Hunter's your guy. Take him, please.
Well said. Good
Don't overthink it. Don't
overthink it.
Take the best player in the draft. That's Travis Hunter.
Good.
But to the question, not only would it be a mistake drafting a quarterback, but it's a fireable offense if they draft a quarterback at number 2.
Oh, you don't like that at all?
Because think about the whole situation of the Cleveland Browns. Okay? Think about the contract, $230 million that they gave out to Deshaun Watson. Okay. Fully guaranteed. The Browns are just now starting to clear the black fog around their franchise. They're starting to move forward. They still owe Deshaun Watson a lot of money. Watson has played 19 games in 3 seasons and will make $230 million. Most GMs only have one quarterback with a first-round grade, and that's Cam Moore. That's why he's the overwhelming favorite to go number 1. Mm-hmm. Everyone was trying to get up to get him. They can't do that. I don't even think you can trade out. I think that's a fireable offense. They have 10 draft picks. They have plenty of ammo to take Travis Hunter, which I think they should do at number 2, best player in the draft, and then trade some of the middle round picks and maybe a second round pick to move back up in the first round if Shedeur falls. I think that's a lot better of a deal for the Cleveland Browns. Because if you take Shedeur Sanders or if you take another quarterback at number 2, you're telling the world he's my franchise guy for the next 5 years, and that's just not right now, not what he is. And you're passing up on a guy of the caliber and a player of the caliber of Travis Hunter. If they take a quarterback at 2, they should be fired.
Here's my issue with everything that you're saying.
Oh, go. I love issues.
Here's my issue with it.
I love issues.
If the Browns don't take a quarterback in the first round, they got to take one in the first round. If they don't, and remember, I was drafted to Cleveland in 2012. I know that organization well. I spent a year of my life in Cleveland.
You know how bad it is?
If they don't take a Q in the first round, this is as hopeless a start to a season as the Browns have had in a decade. You got to go back to 2016. If you start a season with Kenny
last
Pickett,
year, big dog.
But last year, at least you thought in your head.
No, you didn't. No one did.
You thought Deshaun Watson was going to be something. You had hope.
Who had hope?
I did.
After the year he had before?
You can't be that great and be that bad. I thought something would happen.
I had hope with Joe Flacco when he led him to the playoffs.
You had a sliver of hope because in your mind you said to yourself, okay, Deshaun went 3-3, albeit they weren't great, but I still got hope. Before Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall pick, first-round talent, won a playoff game with Kevin Stefanski. I got hope. You got to go back to 2016 when they started the season with Cody Kessler, Robert Griffin coming off a knee injury where he didn't even play the whole year before.
He's real bad.
You got to go back to 2016 or 2017. But at least in 2017, you had Deshaun Kaiser, a second-round pick. You could convince yourself of hope. Remember, 16 and 17, they were 1-31 over that stretch. Chase, if you are in Cleveland, and I've been in Cleveland, and you got to play in that stadium with that lake effect snow, and you got that dog pound who are just a faithful, fervent fan base, at least give them hope. At least give them hope. Baker gave them hope. Deshaun gave them hope. At least Shedeur will give you hope.
Deshaun did not give him hope.
Hold up. Chase, Deshaun absolutely
last year
to
start the year, he did not give him hope. And what quarterback, listen, what quarterback at 2 gives you hope?
Shedeur, hope. I'm not saying
for what?
Chase, remember what all these rookies, we don't know any of them are going to be good. We think Travis has the best chance. Abdul probably has the second best chance. But rookies give you hope. First-round picks give you hope. They might suck, but at least you're like, there's a chance.
I'm sure that Andrew Berry, the GM, and Kevin Stefanski know that in that division, making the playoffs this year is probably not going to happen. Of course, they're going to try, and they can get hot. They can get hot with the run game. The quarterback position, you can hide a quarterback on that roster. Don't reach for a quarterback at 2 when the next year's class, which you're probably going to be drafting high again, is more loaded than this year's
So do you
class.
go into this season, and this is where I try to empathize with the fans, in what world, especially fans in Cleveland, y'all different breed, y'all real tough because y'all go to these games and know the team ain't good. In what world, Chase, are you supposed to convince fans, hey, come out here and see Kenny Pickett for 17 games?
It's not going to be Kenny. It's going to be Joe, who led the Browns to the playoffs.
Come out here and see a 39-year-old Joe Flacco for 17 games. Like, you want me to wake up on Sunday, I ain't going to church, I ain't going to my places of worship. And you want me to get into my car, drive through the snow, sit in the cold to watch a 39-year-old Joe Flacco, and I'm frigid like this. Bro. Sit in the cold to watch Kenny Pickett, and I'm sitting in the stands with these heat warmers like this. That's what you want the fans to do?
I know you understand because you're a really smart analyst and you played for Cleveland. It's really hard to win in Cleveland.
The hardest. I think it is as hard as possible.
And the fact that Kevin Stefanski won 2 Coach of the Year, that blows my mind. That's awesome. Well done. But to have a quarterback as a rookie come in and to play right away, and a lot of people view these guys need a year to maybe get their bearings right to even play, and then you force them into play, I don't think that's right. And the fact is, bro, taking a quarterback at 2 that you're not fully convinced on after giving the contract that they did, that would be the least amount of hope we've ever seen, because now you're stuck with a guy after a year that you're not sure is the guy. Do not reach on a quarterback. If there was quarterback class that was loaded like last year, by all means, draft away. You'd end up with Jaden Daniels. This is not the quarterback
Let me ask
class.
y'all this, though, at least for this season. Hypothetically speaking, 56 hours from now the draft occurs, 56 hours and roughly 55 minutes. Browns are on the clock. With the number 2 overall pick, the Browns select quarterback out of Colorado, Shedeur Sanders. I don't think there will be boos.
I do, because you're passing on Travis Hunter. No, there will be, because you can get Shedeur at 20 probably.
I don't know.
Or you can get Jackson Dart, or you can get Tyler Shuck at 20.
But one of them dudes. That's my point.
They might,
think about this.
They might.
Wait, hold up. You telling me that the Bears fan base,
Browns,
or Browns fan base, they rather have them quarterbacks than Shedeur?
I'm just saying, if Shedeur
boo the hell out of them guys.
But if Shedeur gets taken at 9, I don't think they're going to make a big deal out of either taking Tyler Shuck or Jackson Dart up in the first round. Like, you can trade back. You can get Travis Hunter and a quarterback that you don't have to reach on at number 2.
I'll just say this, though.
That's rich.
I mean, first, the Browns is a hard place to play at.
Hard place to play.
I don't want to act like that's not right. Like, you said something that was interesting. You said, man, imagine being a fan knowing we suck and it's going to be cold and I got to watch it. So I get all that part. But the one thing is hope. A lot of fan bases, man, even when they're trash, think about this, though. It'd be trash it'd be trash teams that fans can't wait to the draft. Yeah. They taking the whole family there.
Hope.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
There's hope.
Yeah, no doubt.
And one thing you just said that caught my eyes, like, yo, hope is a big thing. Deshaun Watson, when they made that $230 million deal, nobody complained.
Nobody.
No, not when they made it.
All these other quarterbacks you see, all these bad quarterbacks that get all these paid money, we complain about it.
Yeah.
Well, I do, because they shouldn't get it. But we thought he could get it.
Yeah.
When he played bad, this and that, we said, you know what? We'll give him a check mark for that. We'll get a grace period. He's been out of the game for a long time. Somebody this great can't be this bad.
Yeah.
So when you talk about hope, he still gave that fan base hope.
I agree when he got signed, but not last year.
But I'm saying, like, you thought that maybe he was bad because he's out so long. That happens. That happens. Injuries and all that. We thought he'll come back. Okay, another thing. Shedeur, you think that's some hope right there.
That's hope.
You don't think they're going to get some hope if he's coming there?
That's hope.
With the hype and all that, the stats.
I'm not saying he'll be good.
Not
with
at,
the hope.
Not at 2. I would rather have Travis Hunter times 100 right now.
Chase,
we would too.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah, it's 2 different conversations. I agree with you that it's way rich to draft Shedeur Sanders at number 2. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I also agree Shedeur might struggle in Cleveland. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But what I don't agree with is if you draft Shedeur, a player who has won at every level, a player who's incredibly polarizing, a player who has swag, a player who's galvanizing, if you're a Browns fan, you're going to say, hey, you see what he did in college, though, right? Colorado didn't win 10 games or 9 games for a decade before he got there, and now he won them 9 games. Like, you'll just grasp for the belief.
We're talking about things that are not going to happen. The Cleveland Browns, I like Shedeur. I like watching him play. All I'm saying is I don't think he's worthy of the number 2 pick. It's not going to happen. And if they trade out, they're missing out on Travis Hunter because Shedeur's going to be gone before they trade back in. So draft Travis Hunter.
But
don't overthink it.
Here's the fear is I think wrong, think long. I get that. But also, if you think wrong, you can analyze enough to make the right decision. Joe Thomas, generational. I played with Joe Thomas. Generational. First ballot Hall of Famer. He ain't win a goddamn thing in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's you got to have quarterbacks.
Joe Hayden, really good player. Not generational, but really, really, really good player. He ain't win nothing in Cleveland. Myles Garrett, generational. Hall of Fame, generational. He got one playoff game, I think maybe 2 wins.
One playoff win.
1 or 2, whatever it is. Travis, he's great. But what's Travis going to win in Cleveland, y'all, without a quarterback? And he's great. But again, what can he win? They had a 1,000-yard receiver last year. They had an all-pro caliber cornerback, a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback in Denzel Ward over the last 5 years. They have a Hall of Fame pass rusher. They already have Abdul Carter on the team. They have him there in Myles Garrett. What if you draft Travis? Shout out to y'all. But what can he do in Cleveland? Travis could be better spent in New York.
That's why I say, go get Shedeur Sanders. Go get him. And if that don't work, I will go with the next pick would be Travis Hunter.
Respectfully, you're building the team there for years to come. Like, you have to, but listen.
I'm listening.
Because next year, because next year, and I've talked to some GMs. The next year's quarterback class is loaded. Is heavier.
Yeah.
It's not like last year's. It's definitely not this year.
What's that mean, though?
Like just better players.
But I'm saying, so like
I'm just saying, and nothing's like,
you know what I'm saying? Because people always say that, but I'm like, what are you going to lose on purpose to get him?
No, you're not. And it's a 40% hit rate on first-round quarterbacks through the general.
Right.
The fact that you hitting on a quarterback probably not going to happen. But you have to build the team the right way. Of course, you need a quarterback. Let's say they do take Shedeur Sanders at number 2.
Good pick.
What do you think Shedeur's going to win in Cleveland? But
well, I think he's always been a winner.
Like how many more? Like a rookie. Truthfully, I agree with you. Truthfully, like if Shedeur Sanders ends up in Cleveland as a rookie quarterback in Stefanski's offense versus a Joe Flacco. Just say Joe.
Yeah.
Do you think that Shedeur is going to win ultimately more games than Joe? And if so, how much?
But that real quick, can I answer first?
Please.
But that's not why you drafted him. You're not drafting to be this great player and great team. The same year you draft him, he's a rookie.
Jaden Daniels.
How many
Bo
guys? Bo Nick.
Playoffs for a team that had 5 wins.
If we sit here talking about rookie quarterbacks, I can guarantee you there's more quarterbacks that don't win in their first year as a rookie.
No doubt. I'm giving you
so what
outliers.
I'm saying is when you draft a quarterback, it's for his career, it's for his contract, it's for the future.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting a franchise guy number 2 for this 1 year. For the future. So now you get a Shedeur Sanders, and maybe you get Joe Flacco. I don't know how good he is, but I think he'll be an OG to teach him the game. Cool, I learned from him a little bit. And the next year, the year after that, we'll see what's up. Like Caleb Williams, he didn't play good last year, but we still feel confident, okay, the Bears are in good hands because we think for his career, he's going to be really, really good.
Respectfully, that Caleb Williams and Shedeur are not on the same level.
Whatever it matters, but I couldn't tell because he played bad last year, correct? He couldn't read nothing. He didn't do well at all.
He didn't play well.
But I said I don't judge rookies because of that factor. But I do think that, for his career, I think he's going to be really, really good. Yeah. I don't judge people for right now. You're a rookie. You know how hard it is to be. I play rookies hard. It's hard to be a rookie.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.